Gamers, Keith Hershey from Ominous Glow Games here. I got a real quick thing that just popped up from Humble Bundle. It's a company that usually will sell a lot of PDFs for really cheap, a good deal. And the latest one is the Lost Works of Gygax. So let's take a look at this real quick. So we got the Marmoreal tomb. This was co-created with Ernie's son, Ernie Gygax, and Benost Pure. So Memorial Tomb, really cool stuff. Really packs a lot for the price. Good value. Castle Yigsburg, which those of you who don't know, recently, I don't know, I think it was early this year, the Gygax estate went through court, and the judge there agreed to release some of the old works that Gygax was currently working on, and works that the licenses were pulled when he passed away. But Troll Lord Games, they got the rights to produce a lot of these old products like Castle Yigsburg. So you can get that. You can get Gary Gygax's The Original Necropolis, which I do have. Pretty awesome book. Pretty big adventure. The Lost City of Gaxmore. That was put out, I believe. Luke Gygax worked on that one. Hall of Many Pains. Unfortunately, I don't know much about that one, but I've heard a lot of cool things about this adventure. So that one's exciting. Gord the Rogue, Saga of Old City. So Gord the Rogue, Gary wrote a lot of novels with his character Gord, taking place at Castle Greyhawk, in the Greyhawk setting. So that's cool. And then we've got Castle Zygig, Eastmark Gazetteer and Map. This goes along with the Castle Zygig. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out for Castle Zygig. Some of the stuff that never saw the light of day that Gary was supervising and managing. So that's really cool. Splinters of Faith, put out by Frog God Games. There's some really cool stuff in there. G20 Tales of Okram. This is Luke's Gygax's world. I think this is a zine. I have not looked through this one yet, so I can't really tell much on that. The BL123, the Blighted Land series, it takes place in Okram, again by Luke Gygax. This OS123, the Chintofi series. I do have, I think, 2 of this series that I got signed by Luke Gygax. They look really cool. Heart of St. Bathis. I recently picked this up when I was at GaryCon from Frog God Games. It's created by William Renoir. Can't remember the exact pronunciation. Anyhow, he created a couple other adventures from Frog God Games that I really enjoyed, so I picked that up as well. We got the Hexcrawl Chronicles series. There's some cool adventures in there. Toma Horrors Complete, the Swords and Wizardry version. This is like the old school version of the Toma Horrors. This one is one of my favorite monster books. Lots of cool stuff. If you like the old Fiend Folio series, or not series, but the old Fiend Folio book from years ago, and you liked all the cool, unique creatures, you definitely want to get your hands on a Toma Horrors. And this is one way to get a PDF. And then also the new redone Necropolis by Frog God Games, with a lot of art by Alyssa Fadden in here. Really cool series there. And then some of the Gary Gygax world building series, the Canting Crew, which is a bunch of like thieves' cant, all the signs and whatnot thieves would throw down. From what I understand, I recently backed the Kickstarter that has all these and some of the ones Gary was working on when he passed. So I can't wait to get my hands on the actual books. I've never actually had one of the physical books. But we got that one. Let's see, the World Builder, Living Fantasy, and I've heard there's some really cool stuff in these books. Toma Horrors 4, which adds even more monsters to the Toma Horrors complete set. So it's another bestiary. Player's Guide to the Northlands by Ken Spencer. So Northlands takes place in the Lost Lands campaign setting by Frog God Games, and it's way up there in the north. So this is Ken's guide on the Northlands, where like a bunch of Viking culture up there. Lost City of Gaxmore, some more supplements for Gaxmore, which is some products headed off by Luke Gygax. Gods of the Empires. So this is Deities of the Lost Lands. And this, once again, this is part of the Lost Lands campaign setting by Frog God Games. So a lot of the gods that you'll see in the adventures are kind of all combined and put together. So you could see them in this book. The Trouble at Loch Geneva, a kind of play on Lake Geneva there in Okram. Luke Gygax's world campaign settings. Beware of the Yule Cat by Necromancer Games. I have not checked this one out, so I'm interested to check that one out. And with their cat being involved, can't quite tell who the author is, but I wouldn't be surprised if Casey Christopherson isn't part of that. We'll have to check it out. Next up, we got Lake of Dust by Necromancer Games. I don't know much about that, so I'm curious to see that. Mithril Rattlesnakes and a Cask of Dwarven Whiskey. That sounds pretty cool. Tower of Dead Thieves. I know this came out a little while ago. Kind of piqued my curiosity, so I'll be curious to pick that up as well. Got the Orcus in Winter Wonderland, like a Christmas-themed adventure with that Necromancer Games puts out. Terror at Wolf's Head, another Necromancer Games. The Fiend of Turlin's Well. This one will be really cool. Can't wait to check that one out. I think I may have picked that one up already. The Lost Crypt. I think that was put out by Bill Sylvie. And I kind of flipped through it. Looked like a really interesting adventure. Spears of the Ice. This one, I don't remember when it popped out. So I'm curious to pick that one up. Spring Rites. I mean, look at this. I mean, a lot of cool adventures from Frog God Games. Looks like Ken Spencer, the writer on those. He's a prominent writer. Writes some pretty good content. Ooh, Death Ship of the Roach Princess by Matt Finch. That one is a really cool adventure. Definitely cool to get that. Skeeter Green's The Dread from Geneva Lake. This is a Call of Cthulhu one. This is really cool. And then he just did another one, The Dread from Geneva Lake Part 2. Eye of Itrol. Yeah, this one came out a little while ago. I don't know much about that one. That's cool. Raslam Asylum. That's a really cool adventure. Cat's Cradle, Town Source Book. I've heard some really good things about that. Fortune Hunters, NBC Source Book. Siunch's Lament by my buddy Ian McCarty. So that's cool. Orcus on 34th Level. Another Christmas type D&D adventure by Frog God Games. That's cool. 1975 by Bill Webb. This is one of his original adventures from way back when. It's a pretty cool adventure. One Last Thing by Casey Christopherson. I did pick this one up when it came out. And Casey ran this for me at North Texas RPG Con with some other fellows. Levi Combs was in the party with me, along with some other folks. We had a lot of fun with that adventure, so I had to pick it up. Under Caverns of Gaxmore, another one dealing with the Gaxmore setting by Luke Gygax. And then the Tome of Horrors, Sword and Wizardry update. Okay, that's cool. So you can get all these in PDF form for only $25. $25. So I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the description so you guys can head over there if you want to pick these up. Lots of really good titles. I highly recommend a bunch of these. Some of them I haven't even checked out, so I'm definitely going to pick it up. Are you going to pick it up? And if so, which supplement are you most interested in on this? Let me know down below. Please like, subscribe, share. And if you have any comments, or maybe you have a question, or you want me to go over some content, or you have a question on how to run a certain type of game or whatnot, leave a comment down below. I'll answer it, and maybe your question will be answered here on the channel. Anyhow, happy gaming and take care. Bye.